Do you meditate like before bed, like before sleeping?
My meditation is, before bed, my meditation is a gratitude practice.
Like prayer?
Prayer. Every evening before I go to bed is a practice of gratitude, recounting all the things that happened in the day and being grateful for everything that happened, consciously practicing gratitude. And eventually it just becomes a part of you, anyways.
Yeah. 100%.
And the first thing in the morning, as soon as I am up, is also beginning my day with gratitude. And then, of course, I have a specific time for meditation as well, which I spend like an hour and a half every day.
What do you do in your meditation? Because there's so many different kinds of meditation.
Correct.
So what does someone like you do to meditate? How do you meditate?
When I came to the monastery, the meditation I was taught was mantra meditation, which is chanting on beads. So I chant a mantra. And as I began the process, I realized how challenging it was to be present into the sound of the mantra and to be totally in a space, in a zone of thoughtlessness where there's nothing bothering your mind and you're completely present and listening to the sound and totally absorbed, in the sound. I realized that it was a massive uphill task. And I think the challenge comes from the fact that we've got so used to multitasking that our mind functions on 20 tracks. So when we're just on the meditation track, there are 19 other tracks to deal with.
Yeah.
You have your personal life, you have relationship issues, you have professional issues. There's so many things going on. You have issues coming from family, so much going on in the country. There's so much that's occupying our mental space. And when you actually want to get onto the track of meditation by kind of just putting all of this in the back seat, it becomes practically impossible. And a lot of people tell me this. And when they're trying to meditate, this is what happens to them. And I share my journey with them. This is exactly what happened to me when I started. It's been 25 years now, every single day without one day's gap, 1.5 hours every day. And I tell them that it's not a challenge today. It would be very high-headed to say that, okay, I've reached a state of enlightenment. When I sit for meditation, everything's kind of there and I'm totally absorbed. Very high-headed, I feel, to say that. But I did a few things that I feel can benefit those who want to really get into a deeper state of meditation. I look at meditation in two ways. A is the meditation as in the practice. And B is everything that we do in our life as meditation. And I prefer to work more on everything in my life as a meditation, which feeds into my practice of meditation.
100%. But do not neglect the practice.
No, do not neglect the practice, for sure. Yeah. So I'll tell you what I do, for instance. One meal a day, I just eat by myself. 2 meals I take with my friends, some of my monk friends, where we discuss, chat, eat. 1 meal is just by myself. The reason being, I want to be present, mindful, in the moment, to savor the entire experience of touching, feeling, smelling, tasting that food. I avoid forks and spoons as much as is possible because I want to touch and feel that experience of the food. Now, the reason I do it is because it just means no phones, no books, nobody to talk to, and just being there eating. Correct? So what I'm doing is, by just eating that one meal by myself, training my mind to be in the present. Like we are talking now. There's 3 meetings lined up for me tonight. And there's a restaurant called Candy and Greens at Breach Candy. The family is a very close friend, So they've just opened up a new rooftop terrace. I've been getting message after message, could you come down today evening for dinner? Right? But it's not on my mind. It's not on my mind. Nothing outside of our conversation between you and me right now is on my mind. So why do I do it? It's because right now I'm training my mind to be in the present. When I used to be in the bathroom, I would sing. Like a big thing for me used to, of course, earlier I would sing a lot of cinema and movie songs. And now I sing some spiritual songs, bhajans, whatever. And then one day I realized, hey, wait a minute. This is not right. Because neither am I into the singing, nor am I into the experience of bathing. So if I'm singing, I'm missing the experience of bathing. And if I'm bathing, I'm not into my singing. So why am I doing 2 things at the same time? I stopped singing, just focusing on the experience of the water coming down my body and experiencing that. So to me, these little things through the day matter a lot to me, and I think that's more of meditation to me, because then what I do here feeds into my mainstream practice of meditation, and what I do here feeds into the little things as well. So it's kind of a loop, one feeding into other. Yeah.
100%. So, but specifically in the practice, could you expand on like what you do right now? Like today,
Yes.
after, you've been on the path for so long.
Yes.
So today, what is your meditation like? Is it the same thing?
Yes.
Is it you bringing back your focus into one place?
Yes, it is the same thing even today.
Okay.
Bringing my focus back into one place, which is the sound of the mantra. I think to me, it's not doing new things. It's doing the same things rightly.
Yeah.
That's what really brings results.
Yeah.
We don't need to try new things into our practice. If we have a practice and we focus on our practice and keep doing it, honing it, refining it constantly, that's when it starts paying back.
Yeah,
If you're creating content, right, you don't have to try a million new things. Keep honing it. Excellence pays back,
Yeah, 100%.
in whatever we do.
Yeah.